There we go. Okay, good afternoon. I am calling this meeting of the Public Safety Communications Task Force to order. It is 2:03 on September 19th, 2023, and I'm Barbara Neal. As a reminder, the meeting's being recorded and the recording will be posted to the task force webpage following the meeting. And let's start with the roll call or the accounting of the task force members, most of whom I can see. Commissioner Morrison is here. Good afternoon. Mike Dunges, sorry.
Close enough.
Okay, thank you. Ron Kumitz. Hello.
Yep, I am here.
All right, and Jim Mack. Good afternoon. So we don't have at the moment Michael Wright or Paul White, and Paul had indicated he may join a little bit later, so we'll watch for that. Let's see, I'm checking for members of the public, and Stephen, I believe you are the only one. So welcome to the meeting. Would you like to introduce yourself? Okay.
I need no introduction.
Understood. Okay. Let's go on then to approval of the agenda. So the agenda was distributed yesterday, I believe, to task force members, and it's also available on our website. Do task force members have any changes to the agenda?
I do not. I would comment that the reason I do not is because I don't think we can set the next meeting date until we know if we get through the balance of work that we need to do in executive session.
Yes, understood. So we'll have to keep it at the end. Yep, I agree. Okay. Hearing no changes, then we will consider the agenda approved, which brings us right away to public comment. Stephen, would you like to share anything with us today?
I just want to reiterate the suggestion and the education of the task force members. We've got a statewide interoperability communications plan required by the federal government that was never completed under its prior version and is due for a rewrite. We have a 10-year telecommunications plan that has been let out to contract and callously dismissed much of the public safety and resiliency recommendations that were offered at the last iteration of that plan. We have the 5-year strategic IT and security plan that all of these plans need to be integrated, synthesized, and I believe the only way to do that is to recommend this task force, recommend to the governor that he reform the Emergency Communications Advisory Council. It's somewhat farcical to have that council featured on the Public Service Safety Department of Public Safety's website as a body when it was created 4 years ago and never had a person appointed to it. So there's also the Governor's Emergency Preparedness Advisory Council, which doesn't publish minutes or plans for how ready we are for the hurricane that we could see any week now. So I'm encouraging y'all to take seriously that all of this planning that you are attempting to do cannot exist in a vacuum and has to be integrated with those other plans. And the best way to do that is to expand the Emergency Communications Advisory Council and have everybody put their cards on the table and look for synergies and look for cost-effective cooperative measures. I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Okay, that brings us to the potential for an executive session. So task force members will recall that we made our way somewhat through the questions and answers to the big RFP, and we're going to continue that work today. So just as a reminder, as we've discussed in previous task force meetings, it is unusual to publicly discuss the contents of an RFP while it's still open for bidding. Public discussion of the contents could disrupt the RFP process. in a manner that would not be beneficial. So in order for us to move into executive session, the task force must first make a finding that premature general knowledge of the responses to the questions in the big RFP would put the task force at a substantial disadvantage. Is there a motion to that effect?
I would make the
So
motion.
moved.
Yes, even better, Jim. So moved, and I'll second it.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, Jim made the motion. Jen has seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, raise your hands, please. I see myself, Jen, Jim, Mike. Ron, what's your vote?
I am up with the yay, yes, and otherwise in favor crew.
Excellent. Okay. Then we have made a determination that premature general knowledge of the responses would put the task force at a substantial disadvantage. Now we can consider a motion to move the meeting to executive session. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Make a motion. Seconded.
Okay, Jen made the motion. Sorry, Jim has seconded. All in favor, show of hands, please. Okay, I see everyone and Ron. All of the task force members that are present have indicated they're in favor. So we will move to executive session. It's 2:10, and we'll join via that other link. So we'll see you in the other room.
I will be stopping the recording.